Yo guys, what's up? Shadow here and welcome back to another episode of Space Engineers. Today, finally, we do have the resources to continue our quarantine cell station room thingy. Honestly, I'm not sure what the real name of it is gonna be, but we'll figure that out as we go along. And, you know, just as a thing I'd like to talk about while we're building stuff and welding stuff. I've been playing around with a fun little mod recently, the whole last week basically, and it's quite fantastic. It's so good that I would say Keen should take a look at it and try to make it better. That almost sounds like the mod is not good, but that's not the case. The mod is freaking amazing, but of course, there's always potential for more, and I wonder how much better one could make this. I'm talking about I think it's just called simply the water mod. It's basically a mod that does exactly what it says. It adds water to the game, and like water as a how do I describe this best? Like as a static but interactable substance. So it's not like let's compare it to Minecraft water. It's not like that, you know, if you, let's say if there's water and then you dig away some land, it's not gonna flow dynamically, because that probably would be insane and could probably explode our computers, and our processors will probably overheat, and all that good stuff. So, that's not it, but what it does is, basically, when you load the mod, nothing... What the hell was that? I just faced... What? Why am I... Huh? Hello? What is going on? What the hell? Hold on. Oh, it doesn't work here. Interesting. What? Oh, wait. Now it doesn't work here as well? What was that then? What in the world? Did you see that? That was... What the fuck? Now it's alright again, apparently. Yeah, now it... Okay. Never mind. So what I wanted to say is, it kinda... The way it works is, if you load the mod, nothing's gonna happen to your world. And before you use the mod properly, you should back up your world, because there could be some things happening that are not so good. However, it is quite a good mod. So when you have the mod installed and you're loaded into the world, you can... There's like a bunch of commands you can type into the, you know, into the chat thingy to make things work. And basically there's one that creates water on the nearest planet. So you basically just, if you're on the Earth-like planet, or if I'm right here and would use the command, it would spawn water on this planet. And it does it on all the planets. And I'm not quite sure how the generation of that works, because there's still ice lakes, so it's not converting ice lakes to water. That's not what it does. I think it probably works somehow with the height map of the whole planet, and then decides, I would assume, it probably decides that, oh, from the center of the planet, you know, like up to this height, there's gonna be water, and then it just fills it up. But yeah. And when I did it on my first world, I actually flooded one of my stations, which was built next to an ice lake. That was just flooded. That was funny. So how the water works is quite nice, actually. It has kind of like a surface area almost, and the surface area also moves like up and down, so it's like bobbing in the sea kind of thing, and it's pretty good how it's made. And if you toss like a block, or if you jump yourselves into it, there's a little splash noise and a little, I think also a little animation thingy, like a little splashy water ripple stuff. And the water is... You could basically consider the water as like a weird zone of gravity, essentially. Because vehicles, the heavier they are, the faster they fall through water. So if you just dump in one block, it will dump into the water and then like slowly, kind of slowly, you know, go to the bottom. And of course, if it's a heavier ship, it will fall quite a lot quicker. Now, the way you can use water is by using hydrogen and oxygen tanks. And I think hydrogen tanks are quite better at it than oxygen tanks, because hydrogen is, I suppose, not a chemist here, but I think hydrogen is a lot lighter than water. I think that's the thing. So that's how it works. And basically what you then do is you create some sort of, let's say a rig, and then you add hydrogen tanks to that at strategic locations. And it's quite important when you put these things, because if you put them all at the front, you know, unlike thrusters, it actually matters when you put those things. If you put them all in the front, the back part will basically just sink into the water. It's kind of hilarious, actually. And so you basically make like a little rig out of hydrogen bottles, not bottles, tanks. And then you have kind of like a floaty ship. And then you can add things like hydrogen thrusters to your ship, and thus make it maneuverable. And it's actually quite smooth. It's not like way too weird how it, you know, sometimes if you add thrusters to something, especially if it's not a ship per se, it feels way too fast the way it's moving. But in the water, it actually feels quite nice with the acceleration and everything. It really feels like it has some resistance to it, you know? And yeah, I've been playing around with that mod, and that was fantastic. The best thing I did is I basically, the first thing I was doing is creating battleships or like destroyers and stuff like that. Just like old school cool ships with big ass guns on it, right? And then of course the second thing I did is use these ships to fire on each other, just to see how it would look like, you know, how a sea battle could look like. And the cool thing is, if you hit a hydrogen tank on another ship and it gets destroyed, the ship kind of starts tipping. If there's enough other hydrogen tanks to kind of balance it out, it works still. But there will come a certain point when you destroy enough hydrogen tanks, especially on one side of the ship, that it will really, almost like a real ship, will start to tip over, and it will start to freaking sink into the sea. It looks fantastic. I'm not sure the mod author, if he did that on purpose, you know, the physics calculation that it really looks that cool, or if that was like a secondary effect that it actually really looks like they're sinking into the water, but it is great. It's really cool. And I've seen a lot of people doing so cool things with this mod. I think I saw one guy did a submarine, a fully functioning submarine. And I think there's one block that can actually help you regulate the basically how much hydrogen is in the tanks, essentially. So basically it fills and empties the tanks, and based on that, your vessel sinks or rises above the water, right? And then I have to find the video somewhere, because it was in the Facebook Space Engineers multiplayer group thingy that I'm in, and it looked gorgeous. He put like a proper, like a propeller at the end of the ship, you know, with like a rotor and stuff, and with glowing shit on it. It looked so freaking cool. And yeah, I've seen a lot of interesting creations, you know, people basically rebuilding like you know, some famous historical ships like the Bismarck and stuff like that. It's absolutely great. And this is like the mod everybody's talking about right now, and it is a great mod. It functions almost flawlessly. I've not really encountered any problems. And you know, the way that you build ships, you cannot just put a grid into water and start adding things to it. You have to build it on dry land, and then you put it into the water. So in a survival thing, you really would have to have something like a dry dock, and then when you're finished, you have to kind of push it into the water. It is almost like real life, kinda, which is amazing to me. But yeah, I've been having lots of fun with that mod, generally speaking. And the only weird thing, well, I guess I would have to solve it in an engineer kind of way. There's one thing that is kind of annoying because the water has some sort of movement to it. And therefore, if you just leave a ship somewhere on the water, it will completely go anywhere, you know? So I guess a smart engineer would have to figure out some kind of anchor system. Maybe something you like something you deploy on the floor with a landing gear on it that just, you know, sticks to the ocean floor. But yeah, it's kind of weird. The thrusters don't seem to be able to hold the ship in position. At least not with what I was building. Maybe there is a trick to it that I haven't figured out yet. But again, it was kind of amazing. So let's grab some interior plates and some of these construction components, and then we'll start working on the cells and whatever we're gonna build. So looking forward to that. Let's toss a few things into production queue now that we have a few more components. So we shall just make a few things here all over the place. There we go. What else do we need to make? Some computers, that's fine. Yes. Perfect. Alright. So, let's build a quarantine cell. Okay. So, again, I had the idea that we have several, like, tiers of containment cells. And kind of like an entrance room thingy. Probably somewhere here. And probably we're gonna make it at least semi-symmetrical. If we can. Something along those lines. There we go. And now, from here, I think we'll have, for example, let's see, let's put... I think we'll have like a hallway that walks through here until the end over here, and then there are gonna be different cells all over the place. So yeah, the first thing I said was that a cell kind of with glass, like where you can observe the person that is in it, essentially. Like a big cell, kind of like that, and then we'll have glass somewhere. Actually, I think we could have the glass here. Yeah, let's keep it there for now. Then this...
Inventory full.
No. Unfortunate. Hold on. This here shall be replaced by this. There we go. Oh, are we now... Oh, I should change the color here again. There we go. Alright, and then we go into the next bit. And here we could perhaps have kind of the same or a similar thing. But this time there's either this is going to be the same kind of cell or it's going to be like a higher security cell with like grates in front of it. And then at the back, there's going to be like a super high security cell that's basically just completely locked. Maybe with even like a double door kind of thing. Only visible by cameras and such. So, you know, something like that. You know, where the real badass, the real evil thing is going to get locked up. Now, there's only 3 cells right now. I don't know if that's... if we could go for more, potentially, or I wonder if we could fit a bit more in here. I kind of doubt it, though. It's gonna be kind of hard to do this. And here basically is going to be the observatory deck for this cell over here. So we have a tier 1, a tier 2, and the tier 3 cell. That must be enough for now. Not very, you know, very expansive, but this is not a prisoner ship, so, you know, they just have a few things for worst case scenarios, and that's it. And they can put several people into the same cell, alright? Human rights do not exist in space. Don't quote me on that, that's a terrible thing. Although that is like kind of like, sometimes I think about stuff like that, you know, with, let's say, suddenly we discover that there is something on the moon, something very valuable, like a valuable metal or something, a new metal. Energy and then, low. You know, just like philosophical or law questions pertaining the moon. You know, who owns the stuff there? Is it the one who put his flag first in it? Are we still gonna go by that? And what about asteroids, you know? I think I talked about that before, you know, like asteroid mining. How are we gonna do that? Are you just gonna be like, I claim this asteroid. That's mine now. How does that work? And then again, will there be, let's say if there's like a asteroid that is owned by, let's say, China. And will that mean that there are the same laws that would be okay in China would be on that asteroid? Or how does that work? Is this kind of like an embassy thing where it's counting as the home soil? There's a lot of weird questions. That's one of the reasons I think we're not quite ready for the space age yet, you know? As a planet. We haven't figured out shit on our planet yet, so it's kind of difficult to get into space. I guess it would have to be kind of like, if you're off planet, it would have to be kind of like its own government almost. You know, let's say on the moon, there's gonna have to be like a moon government. The question is who picks that. I guess one of the best way to do it would probably be you send a delegation, basically, kind of like the International Space Station. You know, like you get like a few people from every nation. And then you have a government that is basically one guy from every nation, and then they decide together, which subsequently will probably lead to not being able to decide anything because they all hate each other, but hey, that's how it is. And maybe after hundreds of years, the moon will rebel and demand its independence as its own nation. Then it will have its organic government, you know, kind of like that. Sometimes I think about weird stuff. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we got that. Now let's get ourselves some glass and other stuff. Let's get that. Let's get that. We need windows. I think we'll take the 2x1 windows if we already have that. And then we also need some catwalks for the bit higher security stuff. Let's see if we can get that. We need, I believe, a few of those. And then a few of those bad boys. I think some of these. Probably some of these. Maybe some of these. Right. Yeah, let's get the rest of these. Okay. Let's try this. So, the first one, if I find it... Ow. No. Wrong. There we go. So the first one is going to be right here. And the second one is going to be here, but there's going to be stuff in front of it. Now the question is, how do I want to do that? I think the easiest way, if we want to have the same kind of space on the inside, is going to be have it like this, and then in front, this, kind of like that. And then over here, obviously, there's going to be no freaking viewing port, except a camera at the back or something. So here you have that. Oh wait, do I want to have... You know what? But let's do it the other way around. But normally I do it the windows like that, because the outside doesn't need to look in. But here it's the other way around. Here you would have these on the inside, and on the outside you have the clear vision on what's happening on the inside. Yeah. That sounds smart. Let's do it. Yeah, we need more bulletproof glass. And some more construction components. Alright. We shall... Oh, that was close. We shall get some... bulletproof glass. Let's get 80 of that. Then more of you. Perfect. Also, you know what? I was wondering. It's been a while since we had any like teasers for new updates, hasn't there? Or at least I haven't seen anything. Have you? I'm kind of was wondering. You know, are they still working on something? What is going on? Oh, this is kind of interesting. So if you're far away, you can. Oh, okay. The light was here the problem. If I light this, I can barely see anything behind it. But like this, I can see quite well what's going on inside. And from the inside. It's kind of hard to see out, which is okay in my opinion. And then, Jesus, this light is aggressive. I have to check if it's not bleeding into the upper levels there. Alright, but that's cool. So on this side, there's going to be a camera, probably... can we place one? Do we have materials to do so? I think so, right? A can. Yes, let's place a can. There we go. With the lights like this. You know, if I wanted to do this properly, I would put this kind of camera in the ceiling and then make it so that you could, you know, like move the camera around to spot everything in the cell. But since this is not a thing in Space Engineers, I have to, you know, make do with what I have essentially. So this is what we got. There we go. Now, doors. I think for this kind of operation, we will be running with the new offset doors. I think they look cool. Kind of like a reinforced door thingy. And then on this here, we're gonna have this door, and then on the other side, like a double thingy. So you can basically open this door, get in, open that door, so there's no chance the patient or whoever you have in there is getting out. Something along those lines, which, you know, in these lower security cells, it's okay, I suppose. We might still put cameras in here as well. We'll see. Okay, we need displays and motors. Oh, we need pretty much everything. Displays, motors, construction components, computers, everything. But yeah, you know, I know now where this is gonna go with these cells. I think they look cool. I have a feeling that's exactly how they should be. Alright, let's get these displays, computers, motors. Computers and motors. Not sure that's enough. Alright, let's finish these up, and then, you know, I think that's good for today. Nice little progress on my little cells here. Then next time we can put in like details and computer systems and all the good stuff. Oh, let me get bulletproof glass, construction steel plate, and tubes. Let me get that real quick before we finish this up. Alright, construction components, bulletproof glass, gee. There we go, that should be enough. And we also gonna put in lighting, and maybe we'll put in some, I don't know, defense systems? You know, some interior turrets watching the entrance or the exit to here, like over here. Have one turret here from the ceiling that's basically trying to guard everything? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, there's gonna be a main room here with some seats and then probably some button panel to unleash, you know, open cell door 1, open cell door 2, open cell door 3, outer, open cell door 3, inner. Something along those lines. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time and take care.